trying to get the phones a little closer because, like, it's a big gap. It's a big gap, and I don't want to be looking from, bitch, east to west, bitch. Peace, Bloody, Marjorie, Taquan, Crystal, Shantia, Graffiti. Nice to see ya. How's y'all day? Whatever time it is around your way, Ashe. Peace, YouTube. Hey, Misty. Go live on Facebook. We running Divine today, y'all. It's all right. You said we all the way Divine tonight? No, really, it's okay. And we are. I just looked at the clock and it was 8 o'clock. And here we are, 53 minutes later. But we here. So I'm grateful for that, right? It could be worse. My day was great. Thank you for asking. It was full of body butters. I was making body butters all day. But it was a beautiful day, all in all. Peace, Laylee. Crystal said, came back from dinner with my mom and sister. It was nice. How was your day? What'd you eat? My day was great. Dang, this is fried. Where's my incense holder? Bitch. My incense holder is not in here. My lovely oud incense just came in the mail. To those of you who do not know about the oud fragrance, oh my gosh. Now, there are different types of ouds. Okay? And I've been on a hunt. I had came across some bomb-ass oud about 2 years ago. And I've been looking for it ever since. And I found it. I hit the jackpot, bitch, and it was delivered today. And I done burned about 5 of these incense already. But let me, bitch, I was about to say I left my water. I was about to say it's a Friday, literally. Thank you, love. Let me comment, paste that. Peace, TT. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome in, baby boos. News and truths to the Crystaline Mars show. I am your co-host, Mrs. Dublé Jones. I am the lady with the stones that come here and to leave us alone. And I'm a spiritual guide to assist you in this life in any way that I can. If you like a helping hand, some spiritual guidance, you can book on the website, crystalinemars.com, as well as take advantage of our 33% off Mother's Day sale that ends on the 12th. On the 12th of May, so this upcoming Monday. Shout out to y'all who have been ordering. I love y'all so much, and I send it back times 10. Shout out to y'all for your cash apps, for your super chats, all right? Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for supporting our new lovelies, our sacred infused oil. I'm over here shaking them up on the side. You can't see. Y'all know I like to shake it up before I show y'all. But thank y'all for just showing the love. Thank y'all for showing the love in every way you choose to do so. I send it back times 1,000,000, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into the message of the day. The message of the day, hold on, bitch. Okay. The message of the day is you did not move prematurely. You're just ahead of the curve. You did not, and you are not moving prematurely. You're just ahead of the curve. Okay? And when I say you're not premature, it's because you have fully developed enough to do what needs to be done right now. There could literally be things that you're doing right now and you're expecting to like show up with it next week or maybe next month or tomorrow, right? You may have this short-term vision, but some of y'all are so ahead. Y'all are in fall season, right? Y'all are in winter season in regards to thinking, in regards to progression, in regards to innovation. All right. So know that you are en route to your destination and you're not moving too soon. It's going to all make sense if it doesn't already. Okay. There's an overflow that we've been talking about when Pluto goes back direct around October time frame. A lot of y'all are going to see, it's like whatever you're being called to put on hold right now. Like when I say put on hold, I mean like there could be certain things that you're being called to do, but not actually like fully launch it or fully share it or fully like, it's something about waiting. Like there could be, some of you may want to make a move. Some of you may want to move state, move city, move house, own some land, get a property, get a brick and mortar or something like that. Okay? And you may have the money right now. And you're like, I'm ready to put my down payment down. I'm ready to move. I'm ready. And your spirit's like, nah. Now you got that. Now put that to the side and let that shit continue to flow in. And so when your season does come, when it's time to move, you already have your cushion. You have a good foundation to where you're not like scrambled like eggs. Okay? There are levels to this shit. Like all of the phones are different levels. Like Facebook on a lower level, Instagram is a little higher than YouTube. And so there's levels, and a lot of y'all are seeing the pros and the cons. You're seeing ahead, you're considering the past, but you're also taking present action. And this is just, a reminder to whoever needed it, that you are not premature. You're just ahead of the curve. And you're gonna like literally, it does feel like, because a lot of us are reaping our harvest now, but when harvest season comes in October, it's gonna be like something else. It's like something else. So there's something you're being called to do now, but then there's something else that you're being called to do later or share later, but like plant the seeds now. So follow your spirit. Don't be frustrated and disappointed because you feel like it was a waste of money or a waste of time. And it's like, no, it wasn't. No, we are getting ahead and we're staying ahead. No more catching up. When I was putting on my hair wraps, I literally thought of ketchup and mustard. No more catching up. We're getting ahead. All right. So that's the message of the day. Let's go ahead and get into the daily energy. Peace to all of you who have joined us. Miss Laura, Just Be One, Miss Sheba, Nelvula said on time, point blank, period. Ashe. Thank you, Mystique. All right, so let's see what we have for the daily energy. All right. So speaking of daily energy and speaking of ahead of the curve, bitch, I got the daily energy already written down until January 4th. Bitch. When I say I have not been playing, and so I'm gonna be recording these videos, and I'm gonna have all of the videos recorded and scheduled by June. By June. So the last half of the year, the daily energy is gonna be out of my hairs, bitch. And I'm like, I fucking shade, yo. Like, it's because it's a lot of moving parts. I don't know, y'all may not understand fully, but it's a lot of moving parts when it comes to the work that I do. Because I don't just do a show, you know what I mean? I have clients. I'm bringing new merch. I create the merch. I make sure inventory is on. I got a lot of moving parts, right? Creating content now too. That's something extra that I'm doing. So I be super packed. Like my days be super packed. And so to finally be able to get that far ahead is like, it's definitely like a relief. So let's get into the daily energy, y'all. I'm gonna be covering the daily energy for May the 10th. Okay, I channeled put the pen to the paper. Put the pen to paper. Okay, so there could definitely be some things that you're being called to jot down, to plan ahead, to schedule for. The angel number for the day is 555. Some of you have already been seeing that number. For the most part, we're as a collective going to feel very grounded and focused and have like this tunnel vision. Thinking about, some of us may find ourselves thinking about accepting an offer or taking a new path. There may be an opportunity for showcasing as well, okay? So the rituals I recommend are the throat chakra and the root chakra clearing. The colors for the day are light blue and green. So y'all leave your light blue and green, hearts down below. And we're now going to get into tarot tea time. Don't you know? We also do have Mercury entering Taurus as well tomorrow. So that's going to be a shift of focus. We're going to be focused more on, again, like our resources, our material needs, and just feeling like a need to change up our routine. And being that the moon has entered Scorpio, it's going to definitely be illuminating maybe some things that we didn't see. Also giving us very powerful intuitive downloads in regards to what is and what's to come. All right. Ashe. So let's see what we have today. Oh, so moving forward, y'all, I know it's crunch time. We got time if y'all need the time. But moving forward, 9:10. Okay, it's 9:03 where I'm at. I don't know what time it is your way, but in a few minutes, at the 10-minute mark, that's going to be the cutoff for readings. Okay, Brother Lagos will be checking in at 9:10 to see if I have readings, and if not, he will come and relieve me. And if I do have readings by 9:10 that y'all sent in, I will do the readings and we'll transition accordingly. So if you would like a live reading tonight, it's been on your spirit and you really feel ready to receive today, send your love offering in, because last call for alcohol. Okay, the bar closes at 9:10 p.m. Eastern time, and it's 9:04 at this moment. Okay, so I just want to let y'all know that's how we're gonna be rolling. I will be reminding us, every day until we get the hang of it, that 9:10 is the cutoff. But a bitch be ready to go. A bitch be ready to go. And I don't mind, pulling if I have like personal readings for y'all, but I've been just pulling extra, waiting for him. And he was like, oh, I'll be waiting for you. And I'm like yesterday, I was pulling all live, like just collective reading, waiting for him. And he thought, because he came in at 9:15 and I was crying on the live doing collective, he was like, I didn't think you was ready. And I was like, I was just stalling, bitch. So that's what we got. So this is going to be a general. I want y'all to take what resonates and leave what does not. We got the Oracle Tarot today. We've been in our OG Oracle bag. But let's see what we got for the collective perspective. For this collective need to know. Okay, we have medical expenses. We have the 3 of Cups. Okay, so some of you are definitely going to be called to gift somebody something. This somebody does feel like it's somebody in your friend circle. Okay, somebody could have some health issues, and it could be some kind of maybe advice or some kind of herb or some kind of medicine or something that you may create or something that you may have access to that they may not. And somebody's birthday may be coming up, or you may just want to do like just a random gift. It could be around Mother's Day as well, like you want to bless somebody for Mother's Day. It could be like a crystal bracelet. I don't know what that is for you, but I do see somebody in your circle. It does feel like it's a little distance here, like y'all don't talk every day, but I do see you feeling a little generous, and I say go for it. We have renew. Making changes to the appearance and layout of a space can create a sense of freshness and renewal. Okay, so with Mercury entering Taurus tomorrow, it's going to be in Taurus for like the next 2 weeks or so. And Taurus is all about the aesthetics. And so some of us may find like, hey, I need to freshen up my space, right? There could be certain things that you want to do. Like me yesterday, there were certain things that I wanted to do, and then when I went to go do it, next thing you know, I'm cleaning up this space. I done rearranged, I done threw some stuff away, I done took some stuff out, and I was like, oh, I guess I needed to take care of this first before I tried to get to that. So you may find that you're ready to maybe get some new curtains, or change the curtains around in your house, change your bedding, just like move some energy around. So I do see that as well. I am thirsty as hell. Hold on. Peace, y'all. Welcome in. Yeah, I do feel like somebody's heart posture is being tested right now, because with this medical expenses, some of y'all may in the past, been taken advantage of, or that you add value or something like that. So maybe you've just been like, I'm gonna just hold back. What am I getting out of it, kind of thing. And your spirits, your highest self, is calling for you to be generous, for you to be kind, and just for you to give. For you to give, and don't worry about if you're going to receive that back from them. Be intentional with what you give, right? When you give it, okay? Set an intention when you give to people. What are your intentions? Set your intentions. We have the Ace of Swords here. So we have renew and we have breakthrough here. Okay, so this is a celebration happening. This is a celebration coming through. Some of y'all may have, something may have taken a toll on you financially. It could have been your bills. It could have just been work. It could have been, you know, your journey. Just a lot of things that just been like taxing. But I do see you celebrating something very soon. It feels like you got yourself out of this time. Maybe in the past, like you really heavily relied on maybe your partner or therapist or somebody or something outside of yourself to help you get through it. But I do feel like this time around, you've been leaning more with, you've been connecting more with your higher self and your spiritual team. We have the King of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the King of Cups. The Ace of Swords and the King of Cups. So some of y'all have definitely been learning major lessons when it comes to managing your emotions, mastering your emotions here. So I do see you being able to see more clearly and think more clearly because you're not in that space anymore. You're going to be able to make more decisive decisions, not decisions based in emotion. Somebody's going to be seeing their father soon. Something about a father. I do feel a little nervousness around something too. Or something about a father figure. Somebody's father figure could be transitioning soon. It could be like a move. It doesn't have to be like a death kind of transition. Or something about a masculine energy. And even if it's not your father, I'm picking up on this masculine energy. It could be somebody's uncle, somebody's brother. It does, they're in their 40s, 34, 44, 54. Yeah. Something about the 4. Somebody's born on the 4th. April 4th may be significant, but something, yeah, I am picking up on a celebration of life. Peace, Brainy Buzz, with all of your comments. We have the meeting in reverse. So I just said somebody was going to meet their father, but we have the meeting in reverse. Let's see what that's about. What's this meeting in reverse? We have 8 of Cups. Ooh, we have false person. We have infectious disease. 7 of Coins, the High Priestess, sad news in reverse. Okay. 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 So this could have something to do with maybe somebody father isn't in their life or something. Somebody may have like a hard time when it comes to connecting with masculine energy. There could be some healing or releasing that needs to happen. With this 8 of Cups false person, an infectious disease. Somebody is masking something. Somebody know that they're not okay. If this is you and you're not feeling good, like go get checked. But somebody is not doing well. With this Lovers in reverse, this Lovers is Gemini energy. Somebody may not go to the doctor, so maybe they don't know exactly what's going on, but they don't feel good. With the 7 of Coins in reverse, the High Priestess upright, sad news in reverse. Okay, so the medical expenses with the sad news in reverse. Yeah, somebody's moving out of suffering. This could be you. moving out of this suffering space. And the sad news, because remember when I pulled out the medical expenses, I was like, something was taking a toll on you. And we have the sad news in reverse under that. So this is the opposite of sad news, which is maybe, you know, positive, good news. I did pick up that celebration. Okay, and then with the Three of Cups and we have the High Priestess, this is something that you've been working on in the spiritual realm. Some of y'all may have really been using your visualization, connecting with your like birth chart, something about birth chart. Somebody's been looking at their birth chart or really walking in that North Node energy. You may be the intuitive ones out of your friends. Remember I was saying something about like you have gifts or something. So there could be something that you may, I don't want to say you're going to diagnose somebody, but there may be something that you save somebody from or help somebody like see. But you are the gifted one. Not that your friends are not gifted, but yours, you just have like a stronger connection to source. Like you're more open to be used as a vessel from by the divine in a more like occult kind of way. So spirit could definitely be giving you okay, yeah, spirit could be giving you downloads in regards to who needs what. And that's why I led with don't go into it. It's 9:14, so nobody wanted to read it. Brother Guy's head ass ain't even joined, did he? I'm talking shit. He's supposed to tap in at 9:10, bitch. So we're gonna close out in a minute. The High Priestess, but yes, so spirit's gonna be giving you downloads in regards to who needs what. And so don't worry about what you're getting. Spirit got you, but you got what somebody needs. You got what somebody needs. This could even be like when it has to do, this may have something to do with your partner, okay, and somebody that they may be doing business with, or somebody in their friend group, and you're just like, babe, you might want to watch your back, or babe, you might want to ask more questions, or I don't know if that's the offer that you want to take or something like that. Like, trust your intuition here. Trust your intuition. Somebody may also have like some jealous friend in the circle, and it's like it's going to be illuminated with the Scorpio full moon. Because somebody radiates like beauty. You may be like the one that gets a lot of attention out of the group too. It don't feel like they're ugly ducklings, but you know, I don't know. Something about you hit a little different. But we got renew, and we have the Seven of Coins in reverse. So like I said, with the Seven of Coins in reverse, this is confirming the message of the day, where it was like you didn't move prematurely. You're just ahead of the curve. Because some of y'all are trying to bring in this renewal, right? This peace, this abundance, maybe this new energy. Some of you may want to renovate or purchase something new, get a new stove, or renovate your backyard or something like that, get a new car or something. And some of you may have been inquiring, right? You may have gone to the car dealership and things like that, but you're really just planting the seeds. You are planting the seeds, working with this energy that's here right now, and it's going to all come together divinely timely. We have the Ace of Swords and the Lovers in reverse. So the Ace of Swords and the Lovers in reverse. So so spirit definitely wants you to be honorable when it comes to the boundaries that are being set. I channeled this for the collective the other day, where I was saying like some of you may want to reach out and call somebody, but something may just block you. You may get busy. Your spirit may be like, or y'all do talk on the phone, but the call keep dropping, something like that. Y'all playing phone tag or something. And spirit's like, there's something that you don't see here with this Lovers in reverse. There's something that you don't see that you don't want no parts with. Okay, somebody could definitely be going through it. And it's not that you don't want to show up for the people around you, but you are in a very vulnerable space. You are in a very like, you're in the hot spot, I heard. You're in the hot spot. Like, so you can't move off your spot right now. So you may just want to send this person love, pray for this person, or maybe send them a little text message. I know for my sister, a few weeks ago, I told her, I was like, hey, and even with the guys, but we have our own little code. But with my sister, I was like, if I send you the number 918, because my sister's birthday is on the 9th. My birthday is on the 18th. She's July. I'm Leo. I'm August. So she's the moon and I'm the sun. And she's 9. I'm 9. But it's like the reflections. She's 9. I'm 18, which adds up to 9. So I was like, there are times where I want to reach out, but we're not big on texting. Like, we'll text if we have to, but there's times that I can't really talk on the phone, but I'm thinking about her. And in the past, I used to just like send her love, like spiritually, energetically, right, telepathically, and things like that. But I'm just being more mindful of where I am and how I approach my relationships and communicate to the people around me as I am navigating this season that I'm in, where I'm like super busy. And so I told her, I was like, hey, if I send you 918, that's just me letting you know that I'm thinking about you and I love you. You ain't got to respond. You can if you want to, but that's just our little code, okay? And so that's what we do. That's one of my ways of tapping in and sending my love without necessarily like talking on the phone all the time. And so the other day she sent me, I think it was yesterday, she sent me a picture. She was by the beach or by some water, and she said 918. And that was the first time she said it to me. And I was like, ah! And it was a live photo, and I pressed the photo, and it was a song that was playing that we like. And not even 5 minutes later, I was playing Pandora on my phone. Not even 5 minutes later, that same song came on my Pandora station. And I was like, look at the alignment. So as we're in this space, like I said, you may just want to find different ways to communicate, because you may have a lot on your plate, you may have a lot on your mind, and you may not have the capacity to show up. I love you to show up in the way that maybe you'd like to, or maybe the people around you need to, but it's just about communicating and like not over communicating, right? Because I did tell her recently as well, because we've been playing phone tag, and I was like, hey sis, I just got a lot of moving parts, and I'm just trying to get a grip, I love you. I hope you understand. And in the past, I wouldn't do that. In the past, I would just do me. And then when I would talk to them, I'd be like, I was busy, and just keep it like that. But I'm like, let me communicate, and she was like, say less, pretty much. So I encourage that we learn how to, especially with this Gemini energy, yes, because the lover represents Gemini, and Gemini is big on communication. So how is your communication right now? Are you just so in your head and so focused on what you have going on that you're neglecting the people around you? How can you communicate and at least let them know without overextending yourself, without over-explaining yourself, without feeling bad, without hoping, worrying about how it's going to be received? What are you delivering? Are you leaving the ones you love in the dark? Flip the script. How would you feel? How would you feel if, I think that's something that we don't consider enough. We like to say, say the same things where it's like, you got to focus on you got to do what you got to do for you, and you. But how does that really feel when it's the other way around? You may actually be understanding though, because I know I'm like that. Like, I understand because I be like that myself. But I think that it's important that we learn how to communicate. You know what I mean? Especially to those that we love, or if it has to do with work or something like that. Like, let's communicate. Okay, but we have the King of Cups, and we have infectious disease. So also with this King of Cups and infectious disease, some of us may have been guarding ourselves emotionally and not allowing ourselves to be honest about what's really going on with us. Like doctor head ass, I was picking up for somebody else, but this could actually be collective, you, right? With this infectious disease, with the King of Cups, Scorpios can be very, very, very private when it comes to their inner state. Okay, like if you rub a Scorpio wrong, you're definitely going to feel the heat. Like, you're going to feel that venom. But when it comes to like what they're really going through, they do very well when it comes to like covering it up. You know what I mean? Because they don't really like to have everybody in their business. So like, bitch, the world can be crumbling and they're like, I'm good, but deep down inside they're like, whoo, going through it. And so you don't have to be a Scorpio to resonate with this energy. This Scorpio energy is highlighting this within ourselves, highlighting these aspects of ourselves that we've maybe, these shadows of us, right? But when the shadows speak, souls awaken. So allow for your shadow to speak, you know what I mean, to you in regards to like, hey, I got a little rash over here, or hey, like we got a little wound over here, or like, hey, how are you trying to hide? How are you trying to hide? Okay? How can you allow yourself to get out, to breathe, to express, to share with this High Priestess? Some of y'all are so scared of being judged, being judged, and that's a part of the game. We're always being judged, right? But we don't like the judgment that is not, quote unquote, in alignment with who we say we are or who we know ourselves to be. But understand, somebody's going to always have something to say, baby. So this Scorpio full moon energy that we are currently in, I did upload the video, so if y'all didn't look at it, y'all head over to the YouTube after the live. But with the Scorpio full moon, it's also going to be showing us how we're trying to hide in the dark. Don't cut the lights on, head ass. No, the lights are on, because that full moon is illuminating all truths within you and without you. We have the meeting in reverse, and we have false person. So with the meeting in reverse and the false person here, again, there could be something that you identify with or something that you are attached to that is not in alignment. Some of you are not open to meeting yourself, like the other side of yourself, your shadow self, or even your light self. Like I said, you may be comfortable and uncomfortable where you are. Okay, so how are you in your way when it comes to aligning and integrating your shadows and your lights, your divine feminine and your divine masculine? Okay, we have the Eight of Cups. So we definitely, some of y'all may feel called to take more baths, more spiritual baths. And even if it's not spiritual, quote unquote, right? Because when you add the herbs and the salts and stuff, it does hit a little different, right? Because you have some more energy in there. But just even simply connecting with the water intentionally is going to be very profound when it comes to cleansing, when it comes to healing, when it comes to heightening your intuition and connecting with your emotions, because the Scorpio is a water sign. Okay, so we have that's what we have. Asali, I'm ready. So we're going to go ahead and close out with our declaration. I do want to pull an Orisha card, because the guy's got to come up and write on the board anyway. Graffiti said, when the heart screams, reasoning goes silent. Ashe. I want to pull from the Orisha deck, see who got something to say. Dis-ease, in my case, positive thoughts do help health. Ashe. This ooze smells so freaking good, y'all. I wish y'all could smell it. Let's see what the deck got. And y'all bundle up. Y'all get y'all unveiled in Fortitude Oracle deck. Let's pull one of them first. Let's pull one of these first, and then we're going to close out with the Orisha and the, whatchamacallit, and the declaration. But y'all saw how divine alignment the cards was today. That was a personal card pull that I had posted earlier, and it was in alignment. The unveil was saying, you know, follow your north node. The other card said you're already doing it. Follow your true node, your north node. And I was like, Ashe. And then the Fortitude, the Fortitude had a message also supporting that energy. And I was like, Ashe. So y'all bundle up. The decks are on sale with a 33% off. They are $22.11. If I'm not mistaken, they are $22.11. So I just want one. Thanks. We got a wolf in sheep's clothing. Boundaries up. Do not reveal all that you know. Take notes of the signs and synchronicities that show. For you, this shift will not be abrupt. It does have an exercise up here, so I invite y'all to share this space. It's going to be really, really brief. We have 11, 11, 11 here. Ashe. So I invite you to close your eyes. And just take a few breaths. Just take a few breaths in this present moment. Visualize what appears to be a sheep. Look intensely at this sheep. Look into its eyes. its dark green or bright red eyes intensely until its skin begins to melt away, exposing the truth, the wolf it is. May this exercise open your third eye, stimulate your third eye so you may see truth in totality at all times, in all things. Ashe. You may slowly open your eyes and meet me here on the other side. Let's vibe. It's being head. So I'm gonna pull one from Fortitude. We got a wolf in sheep's clothing. We talked about that. If it ain't real and if it ain't healed, it will be revealed with this Scorpio energy. You don't have to reveal all that you know. Okay? There could be some things, like I said, Spirit may be giving you downloads about stuff. And you ain't got to tell everything. Everything is not for you to tell. A lot of it's for you. All right. The burden is so heavy because you're trying to carry it alone. It's okay to ask for help. Support is here for you. Release resistance to assistance. So, like I talked about, the theme for this Scorpio full moon is integration. Assign your shadows. This is not the time to run from the shadows, but to see like, hey, ooh, shadows. How can I use you? Right? Some of us love to have sex. Right? I shared this with a lovely before client. I'm like, don't shame your strong Scorpio energy. Right? Because that's what Scorpio is, very sexual energy. Don't shame it, but instead be like, you know what? If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it on purpose. I'm going to manifest. I'm going to do some spiritual work. I'm going to activate. We're going to percolate. We're going to penetrate. Okay? Some of you really feel this desire to hit the herb real quick with a guan. Go into it intentionally. You know, sprinkle a little herb in there. Right? A little blue lotus, a little lavender. Like, be intentional with that of what you do. Okay? Assign the shadow, like, all right, shadow, I know you about that action. Right? I know you are you're angry sometimes. You have this wall that you put up and things like that, but I just need you to protect me from harm. I need you to send that energy outward when we are in danger. I need you to let me know when I'm in danger. But that false person shit, that ain't helping us. Higher self, I need you to do this. I need you to lead me to my highest path. I need you to give me them downloads so I can upload. And lower self, you let me know what's going on too. Both of y'all. They both play their purpose. And the burden is so heavy because maybe you're trying to neglect an aspect of yourself. And you're like, something is holding me down. Something is holding me back. What is this that I feel lopsided? I feel imbalanced. That's going to come to light. That's going to come to light over these next 7 days. What you need to embrace maybe about yourself, about the world, about the people around you, about your life, about your challenges, your purpose. There could be certain things where you're like, okay, will you accept it? Will you accept the truth? It's often that we ask for the truth, but it's conditional though. It's like, it's only if it's the truth that we want to hear or the truth that we don't want to know, that we want to know. I don't want to know if you playing me, Keep it on the low, 'cause my heart can't take it anymore. And if you creepin', please don't let it show. Oh, baby, I don't wanna know. You wanna stay in the unknown, but at the same time, you wanna know. Like, how? That's contradicting. How, Sway? What do you say? So let's release to rise. Let's release to rise. And alchemize. So that's what we got from our fortitude and our unveiled deck. Now let's go ahead and close out with our declaration. I said I was gonna get a little declaration book or something. I still ain't get that. That's okay. Boundaries. Stay true to what feels right for you. Honor your boundaries. Approach with discernment. Speak your truth and make decisions based on your assessment of the facts. Be honest, upfront, and direct, but be aware. Even constructive criticism can be wielded like a weapon. When this blunt mama ancestor shows up, she wants you to be logical and unbiased with strong communication. So communication could be a big thing. Are you suppressing your emotions? We all have those hard-edged queens in our lineage. You don't want to get on their bad side. Where can you use this wisdom in your life? Remember, haters gonna hate. The pessimistic energy is thick and undeniable. The chill in the air is somebody being cold-blooded, bitter, or maybe even cruel. Words can be more hurtful than sticks and stones. Being mean and nasty is never called for. You may be overwhelmed by your emotions. Queen of Swords, I speak with clarity is the declaration. I speak with clarity. I speak with clarity. All right, y'all. So that concludes our tarot tea time of the day. Again, if y'all are ready to dive a little deeper and really work with this powerful full moon in Scorpio, I would recommend booking either a ritual, the Winds of Change, where I personally work with Oya and Shango, or you could book a spiritual clearing, right? A past life regression would also be powerful as well when it comes to just gaining insight and even healing some past energy that may be holding you back, that may be in the shadows that you are not aware of. There are plenty of guided meditations that I do, or past life regressions, and we go lifetimes back to where my clients are like, I didn't even know that happened. I forgot that happened. Or I didn't know that was still affecting me, because the emotions got so heavy for them in the middle of the past life regression. So like I said, let's shed to rise. But there is understanding that must be had in order for us to truly like accept the shifts. So CrystalineMars.com for your personal services. And also while you're there, head over to our shop to see the jewelry and the spiritual tools and the jewels and all those things for 33% off. So Brother Gods is here and we are ready to go. Thank y'all for sharing this space. We're now about to transition over to the spiritual lesson. Soraya said, I just told myself today I'm tired of holding myself back. It don't be anyone but me. So I have to really figure this out. Been in the midst of aligning myself for a minute. I share y'all. I'll see y'all in the comments. I moved you a little closer because you were really far away yesterday. So we should be good tonight. Hold on. Let me see something real quick. That's dark. But what you think? What you think? Because it don't have that glare. You like this better?
Try and turn it on. Peace, family. Peace. Today's spiritual lesson is the NHH, which is the abbreviation for Kanye West's new song. Those who have heard it, you know what these letters represent. So, one of those letters being Hitler. So that gives you an indication, right? Now, this is a representation. All things that you see in Hollywood, all things that you see on TV, on social media, amongst the news or whatever, these are all spiritual components, all spiritual aspects, spiritual representations that transfer and transmute into the physical, which then also heads back to the spiritual. So what this is representing is the spiritual warfare that we are in the very middle of, the midst of, right? This song represents a call to the warfare between spiritual systems, between cultures and groups, right? We see this with the Pakistanians and the Indians, right? We see that those groups looking to go to war. We already know about the Ukraine and the Russia, situation. And in that case, as far as the Pakistanians and the Indians, you got Hindu versus Muslim is how they are promoting it, right? You have the whole Gaza thing, right? The Israel thing. You have the Jews. You have the well, once again, I believe it's at the Muslims as well in that scenario, Shay. But this is other, more. You have the Pope, the new Pope. I don't know if they selected the new Pope yet, but the passing on of the old Pope and the now the bringing in of a new Pope, right? You have these spiritual changes and transitions and battles that are happening right now, right? You have the resurgencing of Christianity. This happened earlier in the year. We saw this happen in a big way with Billy Carson. When Billy Carson had his whole thing, his debate with, I think, Wes Huff was his name, about the whole Christianity thing, and then you saw this resurgence of Christianity. So right now we are seeing, and then the whole thing with Trump going to the whatever event it was, the Catholic event, I believe, right, and Kamala not going, right? So you have all of these, and then you also have Sinners that just came out, once again, also playing off Christianity, but also playing off of Ifa and voodoo and hoodoo, right? So you have these spiritual battles going on right now, right in front of our eyes, as well as physical battles going on right now, right in front of our eyes. But the true war, physical battle is not yet to truly begin. Right now, it is the preparation, is sounding the alarms. There are some, skirmishes, there are battles, there are things that are happening, right? There's always something happening. But the true war, on the physical level has yet to begin. So, one, you should be preparing yourself physically, for such possible battles and in the future. Also preparing yourself mentally for such battles. But you also want to definitely be preparing yourself spiritually. Because the stronger and more capable you are spiritually, the easier it will be to repel such energies, to repel such enemies. It's not that there will never be an enemy or be a battle. There's always going to be an enemy. There's always going to be battles, right? The question is, how capable are you going to be, right? And here's the thing. the more capable you are, the more competent you are, the more skillful you are, the more intelligent and powerful you are, the less actual fighting you have to do. The less actual fighting you have to do. When you think about like a Jesus type of story, Jesus type of mythos, so you can also think about like a Superman type of story and mythos. See, Superman is so strong, so powerful, that he never fights with his full capability, his full abilities. Instead, he fights just enough to manage the situation. He's not trying to kill, he's not trying to destroy. That's why there's no hate or animosity in his heart, because he's so much more capable than everybody else. That he does just enough to subdue, just enough to get the situation under control. That's what power is. That's what power is. See, it's funny because when you don't truly understand power, see, it's not just good enough to have power or to want power, to know power, but to understand power, the purpose of power, right? The purpose of power is not to destroy for the sake of just destroying. There is a place for destruction in a sense, but the purpose of power is to manage. It is to maintain. So that the universe ultimately does not destroy itself. Ashe. So that is today's spiritual lesson. We'll now go into the Q&A, or anyone who wants to come on the Face-to-Face Fridays. Ashe. Peace to NY Debs, and to Kari Tiamu, Dr. Terrence Meekins. We appreciate all the likes, shares, subscribes, all the follows, all of the reels and the reshares, as well as the stories, posting on the stories. We appreciate all of those, and all of the love offerings and super chats, right? Apple Pays, Cash Apps, all those good things. Ashe. Sounds much better. Ashe. And what I did, piece to graffiti. Let's see. I see Kong No Pause is in the queue. You trying to get on? Kong No Pause? Just let me know. Peace to Just Be One. Peace to Kong No Pause. Let me know if you want me to let you on, or if you just maybe just accidentally hit the button. Just let me know if it was for a purpose. Ashe. All right, Kong No Pause. Go ahead and let you in here. Peace, Culture, NV.
There we go.
Peace,
Brother
peace,
Lotus,
peace.
what's up? I said Lotus.
It's all good.
What's up?
I got
Honestly,
nothing.
I'm really excited to talk. Huh?
The Lotus is powerful. It's a powerful name as well. What I say?
Yeah, honestly, I never knew how to actually like really pronounce your name until I got paid attention to the letters for a second. Like Crystaline, she always says like Logan. Like she says it, I don't know, it's pretty fast all the time. So I'm saying it wrong because of that.
It's all good.
No, honestly, man, pretty excited to talk to you because I think like a week ago or so, or a little bit, I was trying to join and there's like so much stuff I wanted to say, so many questions and stuff like that. And I was like, dang, bro, I tried to join it and my camera wasn't working over, but it's like a lot of those stuff and just that whole energy just been like just upgraded since then, you know what I mean? And it's like it definitely does show like sometime like, I mean, everything of course happens for a reason, but it shows that some things may not be given because you may already have it in some form, or you may have to realize, oh, I don't know if that makes, for me sometimes like I do lean a lot on my teachers or in guides. Like Crystaline is a really big one for me. And sometimes the lesson I really learning is like they kind of give me already what I need, so I don't need them as much. You know what I mean? Like y'all are reflections. Like I was telling myself earlier, like Crystaline, for example, is a reflection of what I'm looking for in myself or the advice I'm trying to get from, you know what I'm trying to say, like from the deeper part or whatever. And I've just been learning a lot about the subconscious and how that gets together. But what I want to talk about with you today, you was just talking about, I was watching you, I got YouTube on my TV, I was watching you on the TV at first. I thought it was crazy. Right after I was watching this YouTube video about, it's this other like type of spiritual guy, he channels and stuff like that. He was talking about relationships and reflections of like, you know, how like your higher mind or parts of you could, you know, be in them relationships, and the only purpose is for you to the main purpose for them like reflections is for you to see yourself, like know what you need to do in that situation. Like if it's a relationship where something good is happening, you feel me, learn how to give yourself more of that, or just whatever. But what I'm learning is like now, like how to be more discernful and like just kind of more wise about the protecting and understanding reflection. Because it's like when I think about this, I know I'm speaking a lot too. When I'm thinking about this on the just the most basic conscious level, like instead of going like so deep into things, like I think about like, wow, everybody's a reflection and these are just mirrors, right? But it's like sometimes I feel like I get confused a little bit. Like, am I looking at a mirror? Am I looking at something that's completely outside of me? You know what I mean? Like sometimes I think there's something like I guess I not lose myself in looking what I'm looking at, but just think that it's, I don't know if that makes sense. I think bigger, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. Sometimes, you feel me? Sometimes I think that could be my own energy, but it kind of tricks me. Like you were talking about strength and stuff like that, right? Like you don't need to fight. Like it's so crazy. Like for me, I'm one of them people, like since a youngin', like I would just be a rager. Like I would be just the one that's ready to just infuse and just burst in a bunch of energy, even if it's hurting myself. But in my mind, thinking that's power is like, that's like what, I don't know, I'm trying to break out of it a little bit, you know what I mean? When it's, and especially like again with relationships, like remembering certain stuff, like let's say like romantic relationships, for example, like sometimes I remember like stuff I don't even should care about anymore. You know, definitely life has pushed me to move along, but like the reflection or whatever like that is like, I'm thinking like, I don't know, I hope you get what I'm saying when I say reflection, because I'm still trying to understand what I mean when I say this, you know what I mean? I'm still learning. But it's just that I think sometimes it pulls you in, and sometimes it just confuses if it's me or not. And I just want to, I get some clarity when it comes to when you are that powerful, and just how to protect that and know how to manage that power. Like, okay, I need to use this much or whatever, because being very, very powerful and then kind of not being conscious of it is not scary. I don't want to say that, but it's definitely wise to try to understand yourself when you know there's a lot to understand about yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So to give you clarity on that, life is it is a mirror, but it's like it's a one-way mirror. I think that's the right way to look, the right term. You know how when they show the scenes where they're like in a interrogation room with police officers, they got your interrogation room. On one side, it's a mirror. On the other side, you can see right through the glass. That's how life is. That's how people are, right?
But what side are we on? I mean, well, that sounds crazy to say. What side am I on?
You're on both. It just depends on the moment. It depends on the moment. Sometimes you're seeing, sometimes when you're interacting with a person, you are seeing a reflection. Sometimes when you're interacting with a person, it's switched, the portal is switched, and you are seeing what's happening within them. So it's not always the same perspective. It's not always the same lens. It just depends on what side of the mirror you're on at the moment.
Right. That's almost like, okay, I don't like to overthink, but in my mind, like I'm analyzing like right now, like when you talk, it's kind of like if I'm listening to you, like I'm trying to gain information, and I'm kind of reflecting because I'm guiding myself through as I'm listening. But if I just like kind of just, I don't know, blankly just, let you speak, then it's kind of, well, no, that's different. I guess it's kind of a projection sometimes, like projection and reflection. Like that's what you mean. Like I'm viewing something that's being projected out of from somewhere, if it's from somebody else, or even if I guess negative stuff can be projected, even in me can be projected to be. I think that's the part where it gets tricky. Like, things can project themselves. I'm like, why do I feel like that?
If you're projecting, because we project things all the time, right? The way the reflection part works is if a piece of you resonates with me, then I'll see it as a reflection. If a piece of you does not resonate with me, then I'll just see it as a projection. So if you're a bank robber, right?
Right.
Or actually I won't even say bank robber. Let's say you're depressed, right? But I'm not depressed. So though you may be talking about your depression and sharing your depression, I don't really connect with it on any emotional level. I may understand what you're going through, but I don't really feel anything. I'm not really like I'm neutral about the whole situation. Then in that case, it's not a reflection at all. It's just your projection. You're projecting onto me what's going on within you. That's your depression, right? And I'm just accepting it and understanding it, right? But if you are depressed and I feel the depression and I feel a certain type of way, and I'm like, and it's reminding me of things inside of myself that I haven't dealt with, or that is bothering me, or that that I'm holding on to, then that projection now turned into a reflection. Right? So now I'm like, oh, this is a part of me because I'm feeling it and it's bothering me and it's triggering me. What I'm experiencing right now is a reflection. So that's how they work.
Definitely, that makes a lot of sense. And it's kind of like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like it could be a trivial paradox, but when you break it down, like projection, reflection, it is simpler. That thing definitely brings ringing a bell for inner child type work, because when I mentioned like being younger, just easily to be enraged or emotional or whatever, like I don't know, like I thought at times I used to watch, even still sometimes now, superhero movies like a lot. So like thinking about Power and watching Power and trying to understand what that was at that age, it was, or just not even that age, just through the journey of life to even now, like trying to understand it. And I think definitely like when it comes to like deciding to be like spiritual, like there's so many things that just need to like be, what's the word? It's like a specific word.
So you're trying to be what?
When you're trying to like not just like
be aware, maybe.
Like I confirmed this. Like, I made this. What's the word? Like I don't know the word, but basically what I'm trying to say is that like I think along the way, like a lot of people get confused between projection and reflection, and I think that a lot of the times, where sometimes I feel like it's even for me now, like really like last year, like a lot of the stuff that was happening, there was like these biggest reflections in myself that I found out were not even me. Like that's somebody else that's been implementing that, or this stuff happened so I could see that. You know what I mean? Because I guess part of me is like, I know who I am, right? But there's things inside that's like, I know I don't agree with that's there. It's just trying to see like a clear, like give myself a one-on-one face to mirror instead of envisioning all the people that's like in that. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's like bothering that reflection. And I think for a long time, like I kind of just thought that's just there, and that's why that like that's not supposed to be there, but it's just normal for these parts of you to argue with themselves, or just bring you to beliefs that you don't know where they came from, like I said, right? And I just thought kind of those were like floating around, and my power is kind of supposed to fight that something. Like I would just put myself in these weird battles that's like I don't even know I'm not supposed to be fighting, because I don't know that's not like I'm fighting myself, you know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
And it's just per minute, like projection and reflection just in life, like interacting with people was confusing, especially when you pick up so easily on yourself, and then when you do that on yourself so easily, just having a conversation with somebody could pick up on a lot more. Like for example, like my mom, she says she's an empath and stuff like that, and what she feels that, right? Okay. And I'm like, okay, I can understand that, and I can relate to like a lot of like as my mom said, of course I see everything that I need to see of her and me, but it's like when you're like that and you even when you're saying even when she says she's an empath, like out loud, like I wouldn't call myself an empath, because you kind of viewing yourself like the way she's using the term has the connotation that she's sensitive and kind of weak, because like you feel everything and you kind of can't feel yourself. Like it's like you're just getting like errors, right, or whatever, and you're just floating around, and every time you touch one, like that one has an effect on you, this has an effect on you, that like it's like it kind of just puts you on this crazy roller coaster that you just want to be still on, but you're on a roller coaster. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. So
I know some of the stuff I'm saying like is that's not making sense, but it's like I'm trying.
No, it does. It makes sense. And peace over to also to Blanco, Annie, and to Graffiti. Graffiti will have you on next. So to go back to the mirror thing, when someone's saying you're an empath, I like how you said that it has a negative connotation, because it does usually have to do with like oversensitivity, right? So what people who are considering themselves empaths, what they are typically doing is they are identifying themselves as the reflective part of the mirror most of the time. And they're constantly
like the cop on the other side watching the interrogation, like you said.
Well, actually, you're the which one are you?
If you're saying empath, that means they were watching the interrogation. They're probably sensitive to like how it's going.
Oh no, they're in the interrogation room, and every time they look at the mirror, they keep seeing themselves. So they'd be in the interrogation room, right? So they keep seeing themselves every time they look. They keep seeing themselves. So every time they look, they just only see themselves. So you're an empath, meaning that every time you listen to somebody else, you just keep seeing yourself. You can't get outside of yourself. You're not able to just see them as the person, as the cop outside the room who's just watching, who's just experiencing, just taking notes. They don't know how to do that. Instead, they keep just seeing themselves. They can't see the person as someone separate, right? And so that's someone that's just caught on that side of the mirror. They're just caught on that side of the mirror. Now, there was a point in time where I was highly empathic, right? I wasn't always highly.
Seeing you, like seeing yourself, like if you just always extremely, like not always extreme, but like in things like anxiety or whatever, like emotions, like they would be everywhere for you, basically, what you're saying.
Yeah, there was a point where it was like that, where I would feel everything, right? Now, I wasn't always like that, but when I started getting into my spiritual journey, it slowly started unveiling itself. And the more deeper I got into it, the more empathic I became, and the more reflections I kept experiencing, right? But then there came a certain point where I decided that, okay, I had reflected enough, And now I want to be more in control of what I accept as a reflection and what I just accept as an observation. Right. So then I was and you have to connect with yourself, and you have to talk to these different levels of yourself and say, hey, I don't need you to feel everything, body, spirit, and all these other energies. I don't need you to feel everything. I only now show me the things that are really important for me to feel.
Yes.
Right. So, and then the things that are not important, well, then we can just let that pass on through, right? So you have to create a negotiation with yourselves. See, you talked earlier about how these different sides of yourself feel like they're battling, and they are, because we do have multiple egos. We don't just have one ego; we have many egos. The idea is to get all your egos on the same page and get them to start working together. And in order to do that, you have to talk to these different egos. You have to identify these different egos. You have to give names to a lot of these different egos, or some type of physical appearance to these different egos, right? You have to work and build a relationship with these different egos, right? And you have to start bringing them together. In some cases, you have to morph and kind of fuse some of them into bigger egos instead of so many separate smaller egos, right? And you do this over time. And then you have to present yourself as the main ego, self, right, to get everyone in under control and get everyone on this. And then you got to provide a mission for everybody. Like this is the mission for all of us, so that no matter what ego plays, we all understand what the core mission is. Indeed, that's how you end up stop fighting with yourself, and instead all yourselves are always they're only fighting to find a way to solve whatever problems and challenges are in your way.
Wow, you broke it down amazing. You did break it down pretty good, and you definitely brought up a very, very important thing I wanted to say too. You said the present moment. And matter of fact, before I jump to that, you had said also the ego thing, like, oh, you have multiple selves. Mm-hmm. I watched a video earlier about Crystaline had posted it. It said about the full moon coming up. Mm-hmm. Then there's two things I want to ask you. I want to ask you, because I've actually been asking you this for a long time. For you, as a masculine, on the masculine side, like when Crystaline is talking about all these astrology things, I'm still learning a lot about everything again. Mm-hmm. But how do we relate as male? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's different for everybody. Like, I have family members that say, oh, horoscopes, or just don't believe in none of that, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's like, there's been definitely days, like, for example, I remember I was in the 1010 portal. Like, we just had the 551 or whatever. Like, these different ones, right? Like, I'm trying to understand, like, truly, like, how... not just like how the planets affect us or whatever, but like, is it, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like, not how it affects us, but does it really have as much power? I don't know, like when it comes up to like if somebody tells you, because I see everybody, like all the people that's giving that information, saying the same thing. So I know they're not tripping. Like, okay, if you're saying this, like it was self-mastery was a theme, and I'm like, okay, this is an easy one. But it was popping up from different people that give that information about astrology. So it's like when you giving that information or whatever like that, and it also is a reflection and rejection thing. So knowing like how to take that, like is it something like is it like the weather basically? What I'm trying to say, like is it something that's just like, okay, yeah, it's a fact that this is the day is gonna be like this or whatever, or is it, I don't know. I don't know. I just want a better understanding of how that relates to here.
Gotcha. So when it comes to planets, a piece to Theodore Williams as well. I'll get to him in a second. But when it comes to planets don't have any effects on us at all. But planets at the same time are correct. Planets are it's like looking at a clock. So when I look at the time on a clock and it says midnight, the sun's down, or the sun's not, it's down in our appearance. When it's 12 p.m., the sun is up. Did the clock make the sun come up and go down?
Did the clock make this? No, the
No.
sun just went.
No, it only told me where the sun is going to be.
Oh, you mean like basically, okay.
So the planets,
Those two?
the planets are not causing an effect. They're just telling you what's going to happen. But we look at it as, the Scorpio moon is causing this sexual, dark energy, creation, destruction energy. No, the Scorpio moon is not causing any of it. But the fact that the moon is in Scorpio just tells you what time it is on this planet. And this is particular time, this is the vibration that the planet is in during this particular time. That's what the planets are doing. They're just telling you the time.
Literally the same thing like the sun is doing. Like, it's just other things moving. But but still, those planets and stuff, they hold a meaning or something like that.
Yeah, they hold a meaning because they represent they're the celestial clock that we're looking at. It's a celestial clock, right?
The celestial clock, the bigger all of us, like, on a bigger type of level. Okay. My last things, I know you were saying other people want to come on. The present moment.
Mm-hmm.
Present moment. Today, that's been a big thing. Well, not even just today, but today, it kind of was something that pushed me a lot to just stay focused on task.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about the present moment, and then when you talk about stuff like you had mentioned, you had said, is this information important? Like, I don't need you to feel everything right now, but like, how did you say it? You said, is this information?
Right. I tell my other sides of me, right? The sides that I'm not always aware of. I let them know. Just like I told my body some time ago, like, hey, having a fever, having a cold, things like that, I don't need you to incapacitate me when I'm quote unquote sick. You're just doing it, I know, because you're just trying to make my body stop moving so you can flush some stuff out. I told my body, look, unless it's really dangerous, I don't need you to shut down my body because I got things to do. Okay, so then my body stopped doing those type of things where I'm not incapacitated. Instead, I just might feel very congested, or I might feel like certain things in my body, but I won't be to the point to where I'm in the bed and I can't do anything, because my body doesn't have to do that. It's just overcompensating because I didn't give it any other instructions. So it's just overcompensating. Instead, I'm saying, no, just let me know what's wrong. If it's not that big of a deal, just give me some indication. I'll flush it out some other way. We don't have to do it this incapacitated way. Same thing when it comes to feeling other people's energies and empathy. And, I tell my body, like, hey, I don't need to feel what everybody's feeling. We did that for a little while. It was a good way for me to learn how energy works and blah, blah, blah. But now I need you to calm it down. We don't need to feel it all the time, okay? Now, I know people. There's a few people I know. There was one lady that I know who was very, or I met, I should say, very, very elderly, right? But I could tell very, very highly spiritual. She definitely, she was probably like in her, I think you could tell she grew up in like some sort of an EFI type of background, right? But she had told me how she had surrendered her empathic abilities, basically, right? She was very, very gifted, but then she surrendered it, meaning she asked whoever she asked, whatever universe, whatever energy, whatever ancestors, to take that ability away. Right? Now, she could always ask for it back if she wanted to, but she asked to take it away, so they took it away, right? That's one way to do it, but see, she didn't realize, like I've realized, that you don't have to go to that extreme. We have to just surrender the ability altogether. You see this if you ever watched the movie Constantine.
Constantine, nobody to watch.
You should watch the movie Constantine. It's the guy, Keanu Reeves is the main character, right?
Constantine, not Constantine, but Constantine like this I spelled in the chat.
Yeah,
Constant.
Constantine.
Okay.
Tine. 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 Constantine. right?
Constantine.
Very, very powerful occult movie, right? In that movie, there is a concept about these twin sisters, and these twin sisters were both very spiritually gifted. But at a certain point in their teenage years, because one twin sister didn't want to be considered crazy because her parents were calling them crazy, she pretended that, oh, I don't see these dead people and all these type of energies. The other one was like, no, we see them, don't we, Isabel? Like, we see them, right? The other one was like, nah, I don't see them anymore, right? She's like, I don't see them. And then she kept telling herself that, and she was like, I don't want to see them. And then eventually she stopped seeing them. And the other sister kept seeing and kept being empathic and kept being connected. But the other sister, since she let that go for quite some time, she couldn't see it anymore, right? Now, she didn't have to do that, but that's the only way that people know how to get rid of this, or how to control it or manage it, just by get rid of it altogether. Like, no, all you have to do is, because when you say, I don't want to feel this anymore, I don't want to see this anymore, it's not God taking it away. It's the different sides of you that work together and say, okay, well, we'll just block this off so you don't recognize it anymore. All you have to do,
But then,
all you have to do is talk to those other beings of yourself, your soul, your spirit, your other energies, other egos, and say, hey, and your body as well, and say, hey, this is a little much for me, okay? You can show it to me. Show me the stuff that's important. Show me the entities that I need to see. Show me the ones that have an actual important message. Meaning, filter this thing out. Your essence, your being can do that. It can be like, all right, we'll filter it out and only let you experience the important stuff. All the other dumb stuff where it's just a ghost or something that just want to be annoying, we're going to block that so you don't feel that. You don't recognize that. There's somebody's going through a headache or something, you don't want to feel the headache. What you need to feel the headache for, right? We're going to block that, right? But if your parents has some sort of ailment going on that could kill them, we're going to let you feel that, okay? Because that's important, okay? So that's how you work that out with your other selves.
That makes, you said another important thing, but when you say, okay, let's say you have an experience that you don't like or whatever.
Okay.
And it's in the past, it already happened.
Okay.
Saying I don't like this or whatever about it, isn't that empowering the experience to pull more of your energy back, and you're kind of training yourself to be better, to focus on that instead of, I don't like, that's the part with that's exactly right there. Like the focus, when you focus on, it's not specifically if it's projection or reflection, it's just how the focus works. Because sometimes I'm thinking like, if I focus on a problem, it's gonna grow. But again, definitely sometimes it needs some type of focus.
Okay.
The thing about that focus, is that
what kind of ice cream do you like?
I like coconut ice cream.
Okay. What kind of ice cream do you not like?
Chocolate.
Chocolate, right? Now, since you don't like chocolate ice cream, and you made that apparent that you don't like chocolate ice cream, and I'm sure you told other people, hey, I don't like chocolate ice cream. Has that made chocolate ice cream a bigger problem in your life? No, right? So just because you say, hey, I don't like this, doesn't mean that now you give it power. Doesn't automatically mean that. In fact, because you said, I don't like this, now you are able to stay away from the chocolate ice cream. You're actually able to keep that problem distant from you. Now, at the same time, do you hate chocolate ice cream so much that if you see it, it bothers you?
Yeah.
Does it bother you when you see chocolate ice cream?
No.
Does it anger you when you see chocolate ice cream?
No.
No, right? So you've accepted, hey, I don't like it, but you're not attached to it so much to where you like I have a vendetta against chocolate ice cream. That's when you give it power.
When you have like a rage and burn against it.
Right. When you have an emotional attachment to it, you become, you give it power. If you just say, hey, I just don't prefer that, I just don't like that, I just like to stay away from it, but you have no emotional attachment to it, then you give it zero power. In fact, you've taken all power away from it.
Wow. I think that definitely, me personally, definitely opens an ear for them egos, because I think, for me personally, what I realized when you even mentioned like making work together and then learning more about, of course, just having different parts of yourself, and even learning, I wanted to talk about it too, but I think I'm gonna say that for another time. Like when they say deities and stuff like that, like I really want to understand what the heck like that is, because if that's in me, then that would be, that makes the egos and stuff even not more crazy, but kind of just on a bigger level, because that means everybody has, them certain parts. Like I'm learning about that. So what was my point? My point was, I'm talking too much. Point was, yeah, the focus. We was talking about the focus on reflection and projection. That's my thing. So when I have these parts of me, I'm trying to work together. Sometimes I find myself, like in real life, I find myself not wanting to work on teams with people. Like I hate being a team player. Like as a matter of fact, I just came from the basketball court. We were playing hustle, and it's like, everybody solo and stuff like that. But like, not even, I hate basketball specifically, more like actual team work stuff. Like being at work, having to work with people that you just, like, there's a lot of people, like, an energy I don't want to be about. Like, I just be like, I don't want to be about you. I just don't. Because I can see, like, so many projections and just stuff like that. It's like, okay, let's get away from that. But, again, some of those stuff will kind of draw that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of almost, like, ill to everything. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, like, the egos to get, like, I don't know what they think about each other, you know what I mean? Because it's like, as one, like I mentioned, like growing up, feel, all them emotions of like, feel very, very just intense. And I can still remember and pick up on some of them feelings and like how they, just attach with memories and stuff now. But it's like, dang, even now, like I'm getting really deep in my head. Like I'm like, I don't know. Basically, my point was just like, just trying to wrap up seeing these different reflections and working with the focus. And what I took from you is that, it's not a reflect, like you don't always have to be in the mirror. Yeah. Like you can look at it, you know what I mean? And I think mentally, like you see how like I'm kind of losing while I was talking, like too much in it, too much in the mirror versus like just being the one that's watching it. And I think, like you said, just being like, I don't like this, or letting go definitely eases things instead of trying to feel everything, trying to investigate and go deep about stuff. It's a lot of kind of honest waste of energy, and I'm honestly just got to get to like how you said that point of view where you could just talk to your body and be like, that is really cool. And then stuff like, I don't know, just being able to communicate to them parts, because it kind of feels like you're all over the place when you don't know, or like again being too much into it that you can't see out. Like you gotta have a bird's eye view like of it, you know what I mean? Even when I'm talking about it, I'm trying to keep myself grounded in being the one that's looking at it versus that like I'm in it, you know what I mean? Instead of being like that. So appreciate you, brother. Yes, sir. How do I pronounce it again? Logos. Appreciate you, brother. Logos. Definitely always leaving with something. Have a great night. Ashe.
You as well, Ashe.
Yes, sir.
Ashe. To Kong No Pause. Also, peace to Blanco and Annie, what she has said. Ashe, good metaphor with the mirror. Ashe, that was a great explanation of the one-sided mirror. I never thought of that this way. So glad he came on live, because I too wonder about the difference of projection versus reflection. Yes, we are always reflecting and we're always projecting, right? And sometimes we are reflecting back what's being projected to us, and then sometimes we're just observing that projection. And then sometimes what we're projecting to others, sometimes it's being reflected back to us, and sometimes they're just observing it, right? It just depends on how you connect with it, how you decide to connect with it, in a reflective type of way or just in a receptive type of way. Theodore Williams did say empaths aren't always weak. I would agree. See, being empathic does not mean that you are weak. That's not what we were saying. What we were saying was that the term empath has a weak connotation connected to it, meaning that when people typically say empath, they usually mean it in a way where they're so sensitive to energy. They're like saying how sensitive they are and how it's typically overwhelming, and they have challenges with dealing with other people surrounding energies. So I understood what he was saying when he said how the word empath has like a weak connotation to it, and he didn't want to connect to that aspect of it, you know. So that's what we were meaning by the weakness there, right? But just because you're empathic does not mean that you are weak. That's not what that means at all, right? Theodore said, bro, tapping in. Ashe. Constantine is Constantine. Right now it's on Netflix, so you can definitely watch it on Netflix right now. Tatoya Coco or Cacao Mocha, right? Coco Mocha. No, it's Coco. Yeah, not Cacao. But yeah, Constantine, a very, very powerful occult type of film, right? Constantine's a good one. The Mortal is on Amazon Prime. There's another good one that another good occult film that not Robert Downey Jr. Who's the guy who plays in Johnny Depp? Johnny Depp. He was in a movie, I think it was like early 2000s. It's called The Ninth Gate. The Ninth Gate. That's another good occult film to watch. That's another good one. I need to go back and rewatch that one actually, but yeah. NY Deb says backing off empathy to sympathy is difficult, but I'm learning to separate energy of others from mine. Yes, that is a powerful statement. You want to definitely reserve your empathy for, as far as like feeling what other people are feeling, you definitely want to try to reserve that for important moments. And you have to, a lot of times you got to talk to yourselves or yourself to like, hey, so we can filter this thing out. And instead you want to share a lot of sympathy for what people are going through, a lot of sympathy for what they say, a lot of sympathy for other people's experiences, good or bad, right? That way you can, that's a mental connection that you have with it, but not a physical connection that you have to always have with it. Just go through it mentally just so you understand, right? But the empathy can definitely be very draining and sometimes harmful. Blanco says, this is good meat on the bone knowledge, Ashe, to Blanco. It's wonderful to see you're so eager, bro. Keep studying and learning and growing, Ashe, to Kong. No pause. What else we got good? So Leather Flower Designs. De nada. Gracias for your time. De nada to you. Oh yeah, let me get, I guess Graffiti. Graffiti, you still on here? Let's see if Graffiti, I know he was in the, let's see if he comes on. Peace.
What it be? What it do?
It does well, sir.
How you feeling?
Feeling like a king. How about yourself?
Likewise.
Ashe. What's on your mind tonight?
The fourth, the spiritual war, like the dark, the balance. Yeah. You know how the thing go.
Oh yeah, well, you know, it's like it's not so much light and dark. It's more like 50 Shades of Gray. Right? So it's different variations of lights, just like how you got red light, you got blue light, you got purple lights. You know, those lights are at war too sometimes.
Yep. Yeah, definitely see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my dreams have been showing me a lot of different aspects where war can exist, not just on the battlefield or like between two opposing forces, but within the family, within the community, within yourself.
Yeah, I'm about to pull this up real quick because I don't. But just real quick, this is the. Y'all see how it's spelled? Constantine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got it spelled right now. Cognopause. That's that movie with Keanu Reeves. Constantine. Might be a little blurry on the words there. But yes, a spiritual war with family, friends, and all those good things. And what about it? Go ahead, Graffiti.
I wanted to actually make a note on it. It's like a recurring thing, honestly. Like the work, it has to do with the work or the grind never being just a one and done kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was reiterated last night on the show.
Mm-hmm.
With like a reset, refreshing energy. Like there's always going to be something that needs to be reworked, redone, refreshed, revisited,
Mm-hmm.
And refurbished, so that rebirth can come through and put it into these old cycles, make it forth for just new beginnings or wherever you need to be, wherever aspect. And it's not just one specific season for each cycle, each month is happening, like is more frequent than you would think.
Yes, we are all currently on phase 1 of our spiritual journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Including myself. I might be a little further along that phase than most people, but I'm still in phase 1. And phase 1 is fully establishing your power. I'll say it that way, right?
Yeah.
So for instance, when you think about the X-Men, right? The X-Men, they have powers. Well, when their powers activate and they're aware that they're X-Men, that's only phase 1. Phase 2 doesn't start until you've mastered your power. Once you've mastered your power, then you can start to build the world you truly want to experience around you. But you have to develop your power fully so that you have the actual ability to terraform your own, reality, right? Right now, we can manifest this and manifest that, but see, we're just like X-Men, where you got some powers, you can do a few things, right? You can maybe change, make the winds blow. You can throw some lightning. You can shoot beams from your eyes. You can, heal fast. You can move things with your mind. Yeah, you can do some things, but you cannot fully control your environment in its totality, right? And you're not gonna be able to do that until you fully develop your power. Your overall power, right? So we're all in that stage, phase 1. So every time we upgrade or we go up a level, we're like, you didn't watch Soul Leveling yet, have you?
Crunchyroll, right? What's it on?
Yeah, Crunchyroll.
Okay, yeah. I don't have a Crunchyroll.
But you can just read the comic version because
the manga.
The manga, because the manga, they got the whole manga is already completed. It's already done.
I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, they have the whole manga up. On the Crunchyroll, it's only like maybe half of the manga is done on there, right?
Matter of fact, let me look up a site right now where I can watch or I can read the manga. I know it's somewhere.
Yeah, I just look up manga Soul Leveling and it pops up. But yeah, like I've read the whole thing, right? so that you just because they finished it. It finished in 2023. They finished the whole thing already, right? But it's like the soul leveling guy. It's like Dragon Ball Z, where all the battles that Goku and Vegeta went through, those were all phase 1. When it was Frieza, when it was Cell, when it was Majin Buu, when it was all these characters, those were all phase 1. Phase 2 just started when Goku went into Ultra Instinct. And now Vegeta started his phase 2 when he went into Ultra Ego, and then Gohan went to Beast Gohan, and then Piccolo went to Orange Piccolo. That's phase 2. Now they're at the ability where they are cosmic, where they can now really play a major role in creation and destruction and in the cosmos, right? So that's us. We until we get to those type of levels, until we become God-like type of levels, everything else is just phase 1. So no matter if you go Super Saiyan, it's like, yeah, but you got to go Super Saiyan 2, but you got to go Super Saiyan 3, but you got to go Super Saiyan 4, but you got to go Super Saiyan God, but you got to go Super Saiyan Blue, but you got to go. It's like you got to keep going to these levels. And you every time it's like, and when you stop, what happens when you stop? A bigger and badder. See, Gohan figured that out, right? Every time he would get comfortable, like, oh yeah, we won. Then a bigger and badder component comes and whoops his ass. Like, damn, I got to keep training. And then his dad, Goku, and Vegeta, like, what, you got to keep training. There's always something coming, right? There's always something coming because these are all just phase 1. These are all just phase 1. Same thing in solo leveling. He gets to a point to where he fully activates his power. Once he fully activates his power, now he doesn't need to train anymore. Now he's in phase 2. He is the power. He is the power at that point, right? So, and now he just does what he needs to do to, protect his earth, protect his environment, right? So it's the same thing. When you get complacent, then you end up getting off balance. Is because you're just getting a little bit stronger until you've gotten to that point where you're fully immersed in your power, until you become the power itself. That's what Ultra Instinct is. That's what Ultra Ego is. I am the power. Once you become the power, right, then at that point, it's not that you can become complacent necessarily, but then you don't have to focus on the constant trying to upgrade part. Now you can focus on purely on what you want to create, as well as what you want to do, as well as what you want to destroy. Right? Yeah. But until you've reached your full maximum power, you got to keep working on building yourself. You got to keep building yourself up.
I share to that.
I share. Any other questions?
Not necessarily questions, but what's the word? Assurance, I guess.
Okay.
This work that I'm gonna be putting in with this Scorpio moon. It's finna be a prominent, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yes.
And it's gonna be noticeable too.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be as free and as open as possible, and don't be afraid to go to spaces that you've never gone to before. You may even want to, try to channel some energies, or an entity or deity inside of yourself, right? To channel that energy. And when I first started doing contract breakings, I used to channel Papa Legba. Sometimes I would do other beings too. I've done my aunt before. I've channeled in my aunt. But yeah, I would used to channel in certain beings to assist me. Right. So, and you start speaking like them, you start to, thinking like them, you start, it just starts becoming, taking on their personality. So.
I literally just felt a surge when you said that shit, and I know exactly who it is.
Okay. Ashe. Yeah. So don't be, definitely open yourself up to do that, because it's going to, not only is it going to allow you to do what it is you're trying to do, but by doing that, you're going to also unlock your connection to more realms. I'll say that. And once you do that one time, though, that door will be open. And you're going to not only experience the energy you're trying to bring in, but you're going to experience other energies that you weren't expecting necessarily to bring in either, right? Because once that door gets open, then that door is open, and then other beings can now communicate with you and can come to you now and do some things with you, whether you're sleeping in a sleep state, in a dream state, or just in real life, right? You'll start to once that door is open, ain't no closing that door. So just understand that. But and it's not always that fun either when that door opens. But but it's worth it though. It's worth it. It is worth it. As long as and there's a version of you that's going to succeed with that door opening. There's a version of you. I don't know if it's this particular version I'm talking to now, but one of the versions of you, it does succeed, right? Just like there's a version of me that fails, and that version has to exist, right? I just decided that at this current moment, I don't want to experience that version of me, so therefore I'm not experiencing that version. So same for you, it's a choice. If your will is strong enough, then you will only experience, on a conscious level, you will only experience the side of you that succeeds through the experience. Ashe. And actually, for me. And to tell you the truth, you actually can experience the failure version without living through it, though. You can actually see the failure version of yourself. You can see it in your mind, okay, I can see what it would look like if I break, if I fold, if I'm not strong enough. I do see that version, and you can experience it. You can use that as motivation not to go down that route, right? So that is also something I've done that before as well. So, Ashe.
Yeah. Ashe, I see it.
Ashe.
More importantly, I feel it.
Yeah. That allows you to, that's a way to attach to that side of yourself. There's a side of myself that doesn't do too well, right? But then it also allows you to detach, because now you're saying, well, I don't have to go through it because I've already gone through it now. So therefore I don't have to go through that. I've already attached myself to it by letting myself accept that I have experienced it already. So I can allow that to be an experience that's happened. And now I'm going to experience this other version that I have yet to experience. I'm going to experience that one now. Right? So that's another way how to use the detachment and attachment techniques.
So that's today's spiritual lesson, y'all.
Ashe.
Thanks for having me on, OG.
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Alrighty.
Peace.
Grace.
Ashe. All right. Peace to Nashville, to Denicia Alawumi. I think that's how you say it. In Nashville, Ashe to you. Yeah, the extendo clip on the spiritual lesson Ashe graffiti. So it looks like we have gotten to everybody today. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up then. We'll say Ashe Asante Namen. Ime Kamalika, it is done. And we will catch you all tomorrow for the Saturn Saturday. Ashe.